Thanks. That's really annoying. That's happening now. Where's history? So I want to talk about Shambali. FSBZ. Dude, I can't type today. Okay, so whenever you're playing like uh, basically something with like double range or a lot of range damage, right? You want to play for angles. Like you want for angles and sort of like setting up your cast, your BAP, where they can basically free fire and like get a lot of value. Like for instance, the cast is like right over here. Cast can shoot a lot. Your BAP can shoot a lot. It's like really nice. Everyone's happy.
Oh,
Start
that's very
pushing it like
sad.
in here. Oh wait. Oh right. Sorry. Thank you. I did, but it canceled.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank
There we
you.
go. So yeah, so like right over here, right? Like a Cass is over here. Cass is really happy. Cass everybody. There is distance, right? So Cass is distance. Got west. Got a corner. It's
Wait,
very nice. It's sort of like what Brig Ana backlines for, right? You want a corner. You want a good LOS. You want rotation options, and you want some angles, right? So the four things where it's like corner, right? Distance, like good rotation options, good LOS, and distance from angles. So wherever they approach, you sort of see, hopefully, where they come from. So my point now is when you're switching in places like this, it's really awkward because you don't really have distance from angles. They just get on you, right? So it's like cast a 180 flick to deal racer and stuff, which is really hard. However, these spots are really good for your tank because you can sort of brawl and get on people fast. So if you're playing for the brawl aspect and forcing a brawl instantly, like for instance, if you make wall and you push, like that's fine. But the thing is, because you don't have a May here, you're not defaulting to the brawl phase that much. Defaulting to a spam phase first and then a brawl. Okay. So let me sort of give you some examples of what I mean by this. So all of this is fine, right? Tracer's pushing card, all this is cool. BAP unfortunately dies. What I'd say is you literally could KFK here. Like, don't need to do anything. Let Tracer just push cart. Once cart get as much as you can, cool. Cart's done. Next drop, go high ground. It was roughly what happens here. They're on to do some weird shit. Now you guys look to go high ground. You want a 3-2-1 push, 3-2-1 push high ground. This is beautiful. Come up here, high ground. Your cast, your BAF are very happy. Got the high ground. You go here for a second, clear anyone who's close. For instance, look, this should be probably the first thing that you look at to clear. Okay. My mic's fine though, right?
It's still trying.
surprisingly, no. I'm not sure what it's very odd what the issue is.
All right, let
Yeah.
me try getting on my phone. 1 minute. Let me just talk on my phone because like it's completely different. Also here, but wait, fuck, do this.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like as soon as you start sharing your screen, so it's got to be something to do with like your multitasking.
Yeah,
Possibly.
that's true.
It's like frames are being dropped, but from like your voice. I don't know.
That
Right?
sounds like accurate, honestly. Sadly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait,
Looks like
Streamlabs is
it.
still open. A minute, let me close Streamlabs fully. Maybe it's better now.
The other team said they've been scrimming together for over a year.
That's
Yeah, okay. And they're all
Is it there now?
2.8.
Yeah, they all have 6
decent
hours
call.
played.
Yeah,
is
Okay.
I guess shortly.
they didn't need to be
Alright,
toxic though. That was kind of.
Okay.
I don't think they were toxic. I think they were just like trying to have a lot of fun, but like again, like obviously are trying to like, scrim and learn, and like you want a team that like you want to scrim, like you want a team that like wants to scrim, like learn and like be productive. Or like there are teams that scrim are fun and just like control, and like nothing wrong with that, right? Like per se, it doesn't mean like also they shouldn't be talking like weird things in chat. In my opinion, that's just weird. But like there's nothing wrong with wanting to like scrim and have fun, like just
Yeah.
mess around. But
Yeah.
ideally, again, like you don't want them those type of teams. It's just
Yeah.
it just happens.
But there's still no excuse to spawn camp in a scrim and pulse a dead body. That's toxic. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's supposed to be wrong.
I think spawn camping I think is sort of normal. I would say because I think that's a strategy. But yeah, pulsing dead bodies. I think what they're doing with Ana was a little bit weird. But like I said, their team will probably have friends who just want to have fun and like fuck around, right? And ideally, yeah, it's not what you want, and that's just unlucky. But yeah, so anyway, here, right? Hopefully, it's my voice is like better. But we cleared Orb, you clear Ryan, and now you're in a state where it's like, cool, everyone's good. At my BAP casts are happy. You want to look to like walk. right? It's like, why are we not walking here?
Oh, I saw the Ana.
Question.
That was my thing. I should have said Ana behind, and I might have
Oh,
said
sure.
Ana behind, but I didn't think I saw
I
anybody
think you
looking.
did, but like,
It was like
there
right
needs to be
here.
like, there needs to be like I know this is a bit hard to. There needs to be like a tone difference, like when it's something like this, like turn on, like because I want to look at people's cursor and see where they're looking based on arrows, right? Nobody is looking at this on but you. This is a problem. Why? This Ana should die instantly, so you guys push forward. If you push the Ana, it's gonna take time, which then means their Orion's gonna come back, and you're like it's just not right. You want to kill the Ana fast. You want to push forward, kill the other people fast. But like, see, like this is a problem. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Like now, maybe Lucio notices the bad notices, but this should have been instant thing. Like Ana, come behind, turn on, let's push, and then everyone looks instantly. I should see those cursors all looking at the Ana. Ana should immediately die, beating, then go for kill Torb. But because again, there's not that that tone, and people aren't really listening as well, it doesn't happen as fast. And then you push here, right? Cool, this person's dead. Push, push, push. Okay. I think like this probably not needed. Just push. Like if there's something like you're scared of an angle, as long as it's one angle, that's not a problem because you can mark one angle. The problem will occur when there's like someone here, someone here, someone here, someone here, and you've like a bunch of angles and you're basically getting surrounded. Like they're fully around you and you're inside. You're getting webbed, right? So one angle, don't worry about it. Just push forward. Perfect example is King's Row. There's a widow behind. If we just pushed fully forward and ignored the whip, maybe every once in a while I'll look behind, try and put some pressure. That's why I look behind, push forward, push really fast, kill somebody fast. Then you can turn back that person. So you're right. This is what I was getting at. Like Tracer pushes here, which is not necessarily a bad place to push, but this whole lane. There are basically two lanes here. Okay. If you play over here, what happens? The enemy team now is forced for cover here, 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 here.
Yeah, that's true.
If you play here, right, what happens? The enemy team is just going to constantly the corner. Your back casts aren't really doing that much. I mean, you break Ryan's shield, then yeah, maybe you can again get value. But if you just set a Bap cast over here, and then they do this, what's going to happen? You can start hitting the squishies you hit and get a lot more value. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm getting at. Like, you set up your backline in a better position, they will inherently do more. Also, that Ryan wouldn't be able to get away with that. Also, I have no idea why you guys are so scared. You're down one person. Like, this is something that we'll work on later in mid fights, but you are down one person.
I don't think their
The fight
Ana's
is
gone
not
yet.
over.
Even.
So even, yeah, it's even. Like, this should be very much a window block Ryan or beat into Ryan, and that's okay. Like, we're not there yet, and we'll get there actually. But like, the stuff that like should eventually we should happen. Like this Ryan, in my opinion, feeding, or is gonna get life rolled, or maybe you beat, then maybe they life free, and like it keeps trading, and like that's fine. So, and now you guys make the decision to go in this room, and we're just gonna look at Cass's POV to see how great it is. Cass like this is like a Ryan like dream. Christmas came early. Ryan Hart, five people all in a tight room, or one swings three people. That's really good. Okay, so keep in mind you're better spam comp into Brawl, right? Well, I mean it's a little bit debatable, I guess, but realistically they have a run, or you've a ran. You want them to take distance, so looking to take wider sight lines will help that. Okay, and then eventually, despite you guys win, they hold close. Ryan goes in. So here, like for instance, it should be something like we start with window, then we go in with Ramalt, and then we beat to stay in. That would be a decent play. Another idea could be high noon walk. We high noon, speed high noon walk. So we window walk here. Cool, that's really good. Happens, we beat. We stay with beat because we're scared of social. It makes perfect sense. Then we keep walking here. We keep walking here. Ramalt. We'll turn Ana. We turn on. Sure, Ana dead. It's hard our turn. Now we're up 2. We can just walk, 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 walk. Walk, 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 walk. This was really good. This was a good example of just being really aggressive. Now we turn Reinhardt, Reinhardt dead. Cool. We got it. Keep walking. So this was like a really good, this was fine. the problem is, first of all, your team didn't push you. I'm not really sure why. Like over here, this should be like an amp speed. Everyone go, like hook up, chase these people. They should all die. Like they don't have a Lucio, you guys do. You should be able to at least kill Torb and make a BAP if we just sped walked. Sort of like King's Run. We just weren't in that mentality that we needed to be in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the problem then happened is like this Torb ball happened and your Ram like was like, oh, I'm gonna keep going, and like it was a little late. Granted, I think Babby could be jumped up and throw a lamp. Like it's fine. So because team didn't push up a lot, because the team didn't say, hey, we're not with you. Like the team just said, hey, we're not with you over here. Right. By the time the Ram over here, it's sort of GG. It's over unless Bab just throws lamp or whatnot. But by the time Ram's over here, sort of GG. The team said, hey, we're not with you. Any one of the 4 members said, hey, we're not with you. Care. And Ram will be like, okay, I'm gonna go slower here and like be more careful. Ram lives, probably turn, kill Orb, and then you guys have base. You guys get what I'm saying in terms of bombs?
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, like then sort of apart, fine. So now we do this, and we do the same thing where like we put our BAP cast in like not really. Look at where these guys playing. Like this is a beautiful line of sight. They can see everybody, right? They can like they can heal, they can do damage. They've got a corner. They got distance from angles, right? They've got LS. They got all those nice 4 things. Now when your team goes over here, they don't have anything. Like it's just a corner to corner fight, and it's really not great. So the fight that you guys end up winning is you guys push out over here, right? You clear them, and you end up winning. Here, so it would be something like look to pulse to maybe get a kill, and then we high noon walk. So there's the pulse. Here we should be looking like if you even went over here and you said, okay, we're gonna speed high noon, 3, 2, 1, speed high noon over here and walk that right as an initiate ult, that would have been really good. It would have been awkward. These guys are here, we clear them, but that would have been really good. So now it's their turn. They tree. Now we need to do something. We can live for a little bit, but we don't do anything here, and we also don't really like. There's been a high noon to push back here. They get a kill. Huge. We're up. Again, we're doing the same thing, right? We're sort of just trying to like what? Do you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. So you're gonna match a Reinhardt, fight a Reinhardt where Reinhardt's better than you. Reinhardt can do damage. If you come over here, shoot Reinhardt, Reinhardt then loses shield, you clear some people, you force a spam into Reinhardt. Reinhardt's not a spam hero. There's angles, we don't clear. Remember how I said like 1 angle, not a problem. They had like 3 angles. Maybe even 4, right? Like that's gonna be a problem. A Trish can deal with 1 angle, Lucy can sort of deal with 1 angle, soft poke. But they have so many angles. Over here, we sort of make the decision to clear these guys, and it's really good. The line comes in. We eventually call turn Reinhardt feeding. Window's good. The beat wasn't as good because we could have walked, but like we could have walked with wind and then beat it, but at least we were discussed with what we wanted to do here. So this was good. And then we ended up winning this fight. A round we had to use because of this thing. This next fight, we have ult advantage. What does that mean? It's our turn first, right? So right over here, believe it or not, right over here, we could have literally speed boost high noon and just high noon and walk at them. We leave maybe our tracer heart and just start walking at them really fast, really aggressively, and get some picks. Why? They're down somebody. Even if they weren't down somebody, it would still be good because you're gonna get past this corner and you force them in open space or force them all the way back here. And you get around the corner, which is really important because this choke, this corner here, this is really hard to push through. It's very defender's advantage. That's why you have people try and think through here, try and split focus so your team's able to actually walk. So looking to do a really, really high noon here would have been really good. But we wait, and again, we're in this thing where we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then eventually, do high noon, and it's not bad. And we do amp speed, and we walk, and we get a pick, and this is huge. Now it's going to be, they lamp, they tree. It's their turn. We need to live. And the first thing we should all be thinking about now is what's our next close ult? Crap, we don't have anything close, but we still need to live because we will not win. So we need to live. So we lamp, and like realistically, the only person who should be getting on Ryan right now is our Rambler. because no one else is like brawl hero, right? Baps, it's a brawl, but like distance. Cast, same thing. You're a brawl, but also from distance, mid long range. So we should just be playing slow here and playing to build what our window and playing to use that as a window. Even though it's hard, like here's the fact you look at them here, it's okay, but like it means you're pushing and it's your turn. Is it really your turn right now? Sort of, because their shield's almost gone, but not really, because the tree's up. So you do this, and then they window, and they attack visor. It's their turn. Hard their turn. It needs to be live mentality here. And then unfortunately one person dies. Still needs to be live mentality. Bait, live, 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 live. And unfortunately we're able to. Okay. You guys see what I'm saying about turns, sort of like set info?
Yeah.
Okay. Questions on this? It's a big thing I want you to understand, the concept of like setting up your cast and your BAP so your cast and BAP can do things more. Really important. And when we're high noon, we walk. When we're windowing, we walk. We need to put pressure on them. Because like the whole concept is when you're high nooning and you're windowing, is you're making that Ryan player or Ram or whoever. Like if we don't push them, the person's just gonna like play corner and we don't take any space. Push them
Right.
and they try damage to you, then they take BAP damage, they take high noon, and on top of that, they're also taking boost skills on the enemy team or your team, right? So like it's really hard to win that. They have to give space, or they have to trade by using maybe beat or another ultimate.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Okay, I will. So again, the goals. I'm not going to change the goals. The goals are going to be the same thing, right? Is I really want you guys focusing on alt tracking and start a fight, initiator alt and second alt. I really want that to be clean. And the reason why I'm saying that is when you go back through the VOD, I want you to notice like a very simple way of thinking about coaching is like look at how you lose most of your fights, right? I'm gonna be sort of blunt with this. Like,
Right.
look how many like the way you lose most of your fights. If you're losing like 70% of your fights one way, let's focus on that, right? Right now, I'd say the most ways you guys are losing your fights is because you don't have a plan. Like, out of the fights you lose, let's say it's like 70% the fights you lose. I'd say probably around 50% of those is just because you don't have a plan and you don't know what you're doing. And like that's very fixable. We just need to be like more on that to like have those that alt tracking and that planning. And again, I'm not saying that just it needs to be salt talking, right? There are 5 people. Other people can help out, and it's not, sometimes there is that, and I appreciate that a lot. I've noticed at least this time that there are a lot more people who are talking about alts and helping alts and talking about how they wanted to use their alt. I'm being proactive, and that was really good. But I want to give you my logic of why I'm saying like planning is really important and like why I'm focusing on that, because that's the reason we're losing a lot of fights. Once we fix that, I'm really curious to see, okay, now we're planning, we're losing, let's say still 70% of fights, but we have plans. What's wrong? Is there like a massive macro issue? Are we not setting up our BAP cast? Are we not using our alts right? Right? Are we not doing good CD for alt trading? Are we not playing composition matchup right? Or whatnot? Do you guys get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I will say your King's Row was very impressive. That was very very cool to watch. You guys played that really really well. So yeah, hats off on that map. Like legit. I was like holy shit, this is like better than like a lot of teams I've seen play King's Row at a much higher tier. You had a very good understanding of how to play the map and like how to take angles and how to like set up walls and push the walls and stuff and like do rotations. So
All right.
cool. Questions.
Hmm.
Questions.
So does Cassidy or Sojourn usually play with the BAP? Like in most
Yeah. So
scenarios?
generally it depends. I normally like Cass playing a little bit split. So that if Cass is under pressure, then like your BAP's also not under pressure, is right? Because like that sort of sucks. But maybe you want a window and like you want to play for that. That's fine, right? Maybe there is no other angle to play just because of the place you're playing a nap. That's okay. But generally, like you want it sort of something like this, where it like supports like in the DPS and then tank, and you're sort of in this like triangle type of thing where like you guys can all support each other. So like, 2 people can help this person can sort of like hold space to help these people, this person can heal everybody, and then maybe you have a tracer doing its own thing. At a really high level, you end up making sort of a triangle where you can pinch people, especially playing dive. But generally, you want it a little bit split. Sometimes, and that way also, if like a Winston just cast, your cast can roll back, not necessarily to your backline, but maybe to a position where your backline can heal. And then your backline can help, and then your cast can live. But if you're all stacked and Winston jumps or a Ryan swinging and you're all under pressure, that's really bad. And most of the time, I say the Lucio will play like can play with the map, or can play with like the cast sojourn to help enable that person, so that they're able to take like more aggressive angles. Like let's say let's say like your BAP's over here and your tank's over here. This person could go like more aggressive and play over here, but they'd be scared as like cast or sojourn. But now if Lucio plays with that person, now there's two people, and it's a little bit less like if someone does die, the Lucio can help me boop the person or like help the person. So because it's obviously two stronger than one. So your Lucio sort of plays to enable this person, to help this person be able to go more aggressive, but also maybe if they need a kite, the Lucio can help as well. And Lucio can also go like because this is relatively close, and Lucio, is Lucio. Lucio can also go back and help your BAP2 peel if needed. So there's a lot of like options your Lucio can do.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Questions?
Nothing.
Any tips?
Maybe that'll make
Any
sense.
tips for like coaching players to not think so critically on like their own actions versus like the team kind of thing? Like when we're playing a game, like even the May game, like I'm so focused on
Mhm.
what I'm trying to do that it's hard to communicate at the same time. Like
Yeah, I think it's a really
I
good
don't
question.
know.
No, and I know
Something got
exactly what
stuck
you mean.
there.
Like,
You know what I mean?
eh,
Like
especially, well, yeah, I think like it's hard when like I mean even for me, like let's say I'm playing into some weird ass comp that I've never played into before, and like I'm thinking on how I want to play like Baplets, for example, into that, and like then I stop because I don't team I'm on alt track generally, and I also apply full IGL like everything. But like people also call you want to use their alts and stuff. Like I do a lot of the talking, and I call a lot of the adaptations. So like if I am sort of stuck, right, my team sort of has to help me out for call stuff because I don't know how to play into certain things, or I the hero I'm not that great at, and like I'm under a lot of pressure. So normally what I say in those situations is I'm just honest about it. Like I'm like it's hard for me to talk right now because like I'm really hard thinking on like how to like deal with this, or this Tracer's really good and it's constantly on me. And then normally we'll come with a solution based off that, where it's like, oh, like I'll help you peel the Tracer more, so like that'll help relieve stress, or okay, we'll try and calm more to help you like so you can think more, or like to take the fact that you're not able to talk as much. Or another thing is I'll start saying what I'm doing, like which is not a lot. Like it's not like what I'm trying to do, but it's like I'll just start talking whatever I'm doing, and like yeah, sometimes it's still hard to do, but that's really useful information, especially if I'm on impactful role like May, BAP or stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not like crazy smart things or anything. It's just like I'm playing phone booth, I'm playing live,
You're
like
like
just literally whatever you're
narrating
doing.
about things.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's still better than like nothing, especially if you're a critical like person on the team, because if you're playing to live, that means like and like you need to push, like your team wants to push but they can't because you play to live, right? So the team understands like it's not your turn, you have to live, and you need help, they need to help you live, and then from there you can push. That's a way
Okay.
to try and do it, but even that's still hard. I completely understand, how that's difficult. It's something I'd also say that like it's something that like players work on for like months and years to like, try and be able to deal with that when they're under a lot of pressure, or they're like struggling to still be able to calm or still be able to do things. Another way of also dealing with this stuff is maybe like if you, because it sort of goes into tunnel vision sometimes, is doing like things to help tunnel visioning, which is like maybe some people use monotone. What is it called? Monotone? No, it's like like what people in music metronomes. Metronomes.
Yeah.
You can do stuff. You do that to help like fix focus. You can put post notes around your monitor, and just have it where after after rounds over, you look at your post notes to remember what you should be focusing on, what you should be working on. You can do in-game overlays, where you have like an overlay over your game that sort of has like something written, and that'll also help you hopefully be able to remember to look at it. There's stuff like that you can do too that'll also help you tunnel visioning if you're like hard focusing on something. But yeah, I think the first thing is like realizing you're doing it, being honest about it, so your team like understands what's going on, and then like from there trying to work on it and saying what you're doing or using ways to not tunnel vision. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Other questions?
Well, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Cool.
Mm,
All
okay.
right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Please
All right,
grind
Natter, thank you.
planning. Okay,
Yes.
and being
Okay.
proactive. Like I definitely go through the bot. I'll upload it right now. There are like some, especially on like Flashpoint, where you guys are just proactive and you just went right. Like you just caught the enemy team with pants down. Like literally, there was like what the hell, and you just killed 3 people and just die. Right? Like being proactive is really good on brawl comps. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
GG's. Good night. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.